This video is gonna be a little special because today my good sis, my table gonna fall over. My good sis at Wiggins Hair decided to send me a wig. I'm so excited. We finna open this wig and we gonna see what's inside, how it's really, what, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see, cause I heard about them. I heard about them, so we gonna see what they talking about. Okay, packaging is cute, 10 out of 10, cause it seemed thick and it held up in the shipping process. Ooh, oh, and they gave me oh, girl, okay. They gave me an elastic band. An adjustable elastic band. Looks like what I use on my wig. Give me an edge brush, and it comes with the comb side as well. They gave me lashes. They gave me a scarf. That's cute. This is a bag, I guess. If you're traveling, you gotta put your wig up. They gave me some wig caps. Yo, they really put a lot of goodies in here. So that's pretty cool. Thank y'all. I'm so excited. So we got these places itchy. Okay, so they said it's HD lace, and I know how to look at lace. So we're gonna see this. Damn, girl, this wig is thick. This wig is so thick. What density is this? It doesn't even say, y'all. Wiggins really does have good quality hair though. This is really thick. Like, you know, and because it's long, and so I guess I'm just really shocked because it's so long and it's still so thick. It's a 13 by 6, thank God. I'm glad that they made it a regular frontal, because I've been seeing a lot of frontals that come like tracks on the side and they just have like lace around the perimeter, and then they have a strip of lace in the middle. Girl, if they would have sent that to me, I would have sent that right back. But okay, so they said it's HD lace. But honestly, even if it's not HD, I don't care. Like, this wig looks really bomb, you know what I'm saying? But the knots are pretty small, which is good for bleaching, so that's what we're actually about to do right now. I'm gonna mix the concoction first. This is gonna be a little different because normally I bleach the lace piece before I put it on the wig, so with it being on the wig, it's gonna be a little bit of a different method, but it's still the same process. We got our purple shampoo for later. We got our bleach. Our developer, got this off of Amazon as well. And then later we're gonna need foil, but y'all know that already. Remember in that video I made before I used the brush, I like to use a plastic knife now. About 2 scoops should be enough for your frontal. Pour into the cap until it's full. You see? Pour into the cap until it's full, and then boom, pour that in there. You're gonna need probably about like 3 of these. You want to start off with 3 first. You mix it, you see how the consistency is looking, and if you need to add more, then you can add more, but at least you don't pour too much to where you have to add more bleach, you know? Okay, so you mix it, so you got your consistency nice and thick. Okay, but before we do that, one thing that I would say about factory wigs is that I don't like combs. I'm gonna cut those out first. I'm gonna try this on first. Ooh. This is gonna be so fire. Oh my, this is gonna be so fire. Stop playing with us. Now we're gonna go ahead and go right into bleaching. So you're gonna need your wig head. When you put this on your wig head, you're gonna put it on backward. So all those little hairs that sliding back, kind of get that going like that. And you put the wig on the head like this. And really try not to slide it backwards so you don't, damn it, so you don't get the hair back into, like, in the way of the lace, if that makes sense. I don't know. So I'm just gonna pin all of this down, everything, pull all that hair back, and then boom. You can see like how I said, pull it forward so that there's no hair like all up here and stuff. You really don't want any hair to get up here so you don't accidentally bleach that. You always start in the back lightly, ever so lightly. And that's why I like using the knife now instead of the brush, because you could just smear it on. And you want to make sure you get every crevice and corner that has lace on it. And if you think you're going to cut that piece off, just make sure you get every corner, because you may end up cutting off a piece. You may not end up cutting off all of what you thought you wasn't going to cut off. Now the knots are still showing, and now you're like, dang, well, what am I going to do? You're going to bleach it again. Now you got to wet the whole wig again because you're going to have to wash it all over. So just bleach everything. Okay, so now we're gonna let that sit, and I'm gonna get my handy dandy piece of foil and just put that on top of there like that. So we got our piece of foil and we just put that on there the best we can. And then we're gonna let that sit for again like 30 minutes. Alright, so 30 minutes later, come back, look at the bleach. As you can tell, you can probably already see it. It's very much bleached. It almost went through the lace. I think it did go through the lace actually, but we can fix that. So now I'm just washing off the bleach. Like I said before, there's no specific way to wash this. Normally when I do wash off, why do I keep saying wash? Normally when I do wash off bleach, it's just the lace by itself, so like the whole wig doesn't get wet. I was trying so hard to not get the wig wet, and ideally I would have flipped it the other way when I was washing it, but I didn't really think of, I don't know what I was thinking honestly. But yeah, so I'm just washing this out, and I can already tell right now that I got bleach on the hair. You can see right there that I got bleach on the hair, and I'm gonna come back later and show you guys how to fix it. So now we're going to tone the lace. We're going to put conditioner into the container and then add a little bit of water and just mix that up. It's going to be kind of like a watercolor thing, similar to the one I showed you guys in my previous videos. And then once you mix that up, we're going to dip the wig inside of the solution, and then we're going to let that sit for a couple minutes. Normally 30 to 40 minutes is okay, somewhere in between there. So here I'm just washing out the toner, or just rinsing the wig off basically. After this I did let it air dry, which actually took some days, and then I came back in and I started plucking and customizing and fixing the over bleached hair. So what I do when I'm fixing over bleached hair, I go in with my Clairol. It's called Root Touch Up, so it comes with like a brush at the end, which makes it super convenient. But I put it basically on the body of the hair that has bleach, and then to get to the roots I just go through with like a fine-tooth comb and just brush it down, comb it through, so that way it gets on the roots of the hair but it doesn't get on the actual lace. So here's a little bit of a closer look at what I do. What I mean I put it on the body, I mean I put it on the hair, that body of the hair, like not too close to the roots, but on the actual hair. And then when I want to get down to the roots, all I gotta do is just brush that. You know what I'm saying? Why do I keep saying brush? I mean comb. All I have to do is just comb it. That's just a little sneak peek into my rooting technique. That's what I be doing when I need the root hair. But anyways, this is the finished product of how that looked, or how that came out. And you can't even tell that the hair was over bleached. It all looks natural. So y'all know, before I start plucking, I like to hot comb back the edges and take a little section out from the front, just so I don't push the hairline back when I'm plucking. Okay, so I'm going in with my Pro Extensions tweezer set, and it's the best tweezer set for plucking your lace. I'm gonna go with my favorite two, my angle head and my pointy head, and we just gonna get right into it. So first I'm going in with the angle head, and I'm just kind of thinning out the hairline, just to give me like a template of what I'm doing. When I pluck frontals, I like to start with the temples, because that kind of gives me a guideline. Temples are always thinner than the rest of your hairline, so I always start with the temples, and then I go to like that little curvature that's like right above the ear, right where your sideburns are. And then I just start going all across the whole hairline and just thinning it out completely. When it comes to fine tuning it, I do that at the end with my pointy tweezers. Now this isn't like an in-depth plucking tutorial, because I will have another one of those later, but this is just, I'm just showing you guys the process of what it will be like, you know, when you buy a wig from AliExpress or a company and you have to do all of this by yourself. Do y'all see that pluckage? Girl, stop playing with her. That's the temples. So that's what I was saying, when you at the temples you want to thin them out a little bit more. And I'm going in with my precise tweezers, and I'm really just, you know, fine tuning it and making it look more natural. Alrighty, so boom, we basically finished plucking. Y'all see how my temples are nice and thinned out. We got the front part nice and thick still, and we're just gonna comb it all out. And after this, I'm gonna go through hot comb where I need to and press the hair out to get ready for installation. Okay, but side note, my nails look bomb. Like, I love that set. And to everyone that said it looked cute, thank y'all. Do you remember my last video? I told you all how it's important to pluck your parts. Yeah, so it is. And that's what I'm doing here. And y'all see how crisp that part is? Like, look at it, bro. Look at it. Look at it. It looks so good. That's why it's so important for you to pluck your parts, because you want your hairline to be looking nice and crisp. You want your part to be looking real natural. Once you melt that, you need it to look like scalp. You can't be doing that if you got hair all up in it. You know what I mean? So just make sure you pluck your parts whenever you are getting ready to install. Now look at that. Look, bruh. Wiggins did their thing with this wig. First of all, I did my thing with my things. Y'all know how I be thinking. This wig is so freaking cute. And look how flat it is. Oh my god. So I'm slicking my edges back. I had to use liquid gold bow hold because my edges got to be, does not work. But I used that liquid gold and it got it nice and sleek for me. I went ahead and put my ball cap on. At the time I had a silk press and I wasn't ready to braid my hair down yet, so I literally had it wrapped underneath there, and it, I mean, I tried to make it work. It came out pretty good though, so I don't know. But you see how I'm moving the cap back and forth. I couldn't really put the cap over my lashes because it was hurting my eyes, so I had to wait to cut the holes out. And it was, I mean, I don't know, but we ended up making the eye holes, and you know, I'm gluing down the cap so I can go ahead and cut it. Ideally I would have put the makeup on first, but it's okay because it was a lot going on. But yeah, so I'm just gonna let this dry, and then once it turns clear, or at least mostly clear, then I'll go in and cut it. So before I started cutting, I just put the makeup on. Like I said, I would have put the makeup on before I even put the glue on, just so it doesn't get tacky and like kind of look like buildup. But it's okay because I'm gonna do a reinstallation video with this wig because this wig is so bomb, y'all. Like, it's beautiful. But anyway, so I'm just drying my the glue up a little bit more, and then after this I'm gonna go in and start cutting it. So one thing I did do wrong, or not wrong, but something that I messed up on, is that I have low edges, but because I kept having to move the cap back and forth because I couldn't put the cap over my lashes, I ended up gluing it down a little bit more in front of where my edges really are. So like when I actually put the wig on, I had a little bit of cap left out, if that makes sense. But it's just because I couldn't put the cap on. But I still made it work because it still came out super cute. So another thing that I be doing when I install my wigs is I cut the lace before I put it like on my head and stuff. I actually got this part from ArrogantTae, but ever since I started using it, it actually does kind of, I like the results better. You get more, you get more precise results because you already have less lace to work with. When you leave the whole thing on there, you know, it's like it's just too much and you don't even need all of that, you know. So he was just like, cut it off. So ever since I started doing that, I feel like it's been better. But y'all, do y'all see that as wig though? Like, what? Oh my gosh, no, nothing. Like, baby, I just smacked it on my head and it's already looking like scalp, bro. Wiggins did they thing. Y'all see? Let me get it hype. Okay, so here I'm just cutting off my ear tab, but you already know how that go. You gotta get those sideburns going. But this is probably one of the hardest parts because I can't see, and so I really just be trying to wing it, like just feel the area and just try to see where it's supposed to be at. But it's so hard. So now I'm about to glue the wig down, the lace down. What I do here is, since I cut the lace, that doesn't mean that all the lace that's left is lace that you're going to glue down. You're still going to cut more off. So you would have to pull it up forward, of course, and glue the hair, or glue the hairline on the frontal where you want your hairline to be, or like where your hairline is at. You know what I mean? So all that excess lace that's in the front, you will still cut it off. So it's just less lace to work with. Imagine if you had that whole thing hanging off of there, you can't even see, it's all in your face like a veil. Like, that's why you cut it off. That makes sense though, right? Y'all should try it. So now I'm about to get my elastic band and melt the lace. That's just when you tie it down real tight so that the lace can really get into, the glue can really get into the lace and it can blend with your skin. After I do that, I take it off and I start cutting off the excess lace that is not glued down. Just, if you have lace that isn't glued down, 9 times out of 10 it probably needs to be cut off and you don't need to glue it down. But you would have to, be able to decipher that when you're putting the wig on. I just knew for me it wasn't like lace that needed to be glued back down. It was lace that needed to be cut off because it was excess. Lace that needs to be glued back down, obviously you just get the glue and you would just glue it back down. But now I'm just fine tuning and cutting off any extra little pieces. Make sure you cut off everything that is excess because that's really what helps your lace melt. I noticed my part was a little crooked after I glued it down, so I had to fix the equilibrium. Before y'all say something, I know someone's gonna say something, I'm gonna just fix it right now. But y'all see how that part really looks good though. Like, it looks like scallop. Wiggins, this is a really good wig. I didn't believe it was HD lace at first, but it could pass for HD. here I'm about to start doing baby hairs. Low-key, even though I cut the ball cap like a little bit ahead, you can't really see it. You can in some angles, but like right here you can't really see it that much. But doing baby hairs is the method is simple. It's just a matter of section, cut, and swoop. When you're doing baby hairs, you can choose to use mousse or you can use like got2b. It depends on how you want your edges to be. If you want them to be stuck or like fluffy. I know people use like the flat irons. I haven't gotten on that wave just yet. Sometimes I use my hot comb, but I be a little, you feel me, putting the hot comb that close to my skin. I'll be like, so I just use mousse. That's why I tried to like swoop. Well, ideally, I would do baby hairs before I put it on, so it's already kind of like in place. But I didn't plan on doing baby hairs, honestly. But I figured, like, since it's a video, let me add a little extra something. You know what I mean? But I really wanted to leave it with no baby hairs, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, the baby hair still came out cute though. But mousse makes it so much easier to swoop your baby hairs, especially if you need to figure out how to like lay them. Use mousse because you can take your time and really get it swooped the way you want it to be. If you use like got2b, I won't say it takes a little longer, but it's just gonna be stuck. Like you won't be able to move them. They won't be as malleable as they would be if you use mousse. Does that make sense? Y'all get what I'm saying? So now I wrap it with my satin scarf and blow dry it a little bit, just so it can really set in. All of that mousse can dry. That little got2b freeze spray can hold whatever it needs to hold, and that way when I take it down, it won't be any do-overs. But now I'm just fluffing out the baby hairs. Well, not really fluffing, but I'm kind of just recombing them, moving them to where I want them to really be. Yeah, and just kind of making them a little thicker. When you brush out the baby hairs after they dry, they just kind of get a little fluffier. So that's what I was doing. And then boom, look at me, girl, you look good. Yeah, it looks really good though. And the wig is so flat, you guys. Like, I love it. Oh my gosh. And it really does look like scalp. And this is what I was saying, like, even if you, with this wig, I mean, with a lot of wigs, you don't have to always pluck the part. I was just saying plucking the part makes it more precise when you do flip parts. But you don't have to always do that with frontals. Like, you can really just flip the part, when you want to, hot comb and make sure it's flat, and it's gonna be looking good. As you can see, like, that looks so good. And I can move it to the other side. I could really just do a whole slick back if I wanted. Like, this wig is so bomb. I'm telling you, I'm gonna make another video when I reinstalled it. I added an elastic band. It makes the fit even better. That's why I love elastic bands. I normally don't glue my wigs down, but the glue plus the elastic band, elastic band, that's an undefeatable combo, honestly. But shout out to Wiggins though. Thank y'all for sending me this beautiful wig. I honestly love it. I know y'all see that. Look at the movement. Look at the movement. Look at the luster, the body, and the length, the thickness. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness. That's so pretty. I love it. And then it really did look like scalp. Everything just 10 out of 10. I definitely recommend. Everything pertaining to the wig is going to be down in the description box below. Damn, look at that scalp. Yeah. Okay, you see it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.